Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today I titled this message, The Appearance of Evil, What the Manipulator Expects. The appearance of evil, what the manipulator expects. There is a pattern with some individuals who are manipulators, deceivers. Their father is nothing more than the devil. I find it interesting because this season that is coming up is Father's Day season. We just wrapped up Mother's Day season. And this type of message is one that you can listen to any time of the year, because you're going to come across your share of manipulators who have their expectations. And these expectations appear to be good, not to be harmful. But when evil lurks, when evil casts a shadow on a person, an event, a conversation, you best believe you better be guarded. The appearance of evil is not what some of you all may have imagined evil to be. Our perceptions of evil at times are very faulty. Evil can be charming, nice looking, have much wealth. Evil can sit in a boardroom or sit out there on the street. Evil has different names, different faces, different colors, different body sizes. There are those individuals who will see an innocent looking face and won't even think for a minute that evil is looking them right between the eyes. I have come across the most evil children. Grew up with the type of manipulative children that it's like, how in the world can you be able to get away with what you get away with? What type of mindset were you born with? And I've talked about some of those children that you don't want to take too lightly, as well as some of the adults that were dangerous and that you didn't really want to sit in their presence. Even though, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Or, hey, mommy, I need this. Or, daddy, I need that. And meanwhile, the child's got his or her fingers crossed behind her back, saying that they're telling the truth when they're really telling a lie, and that they just want what they want, when they want, how they want it, as I've said in other audio about adults. Evil is not to be taken lightly. You are not to dismiss evil, make excuses for evil, support evil. If you call yourself a believer, you consider yourself to be a child of light, you believe in a creator, you read his word, then why in the world would you be the first one to take offense to someone calling someone else out on their evil, on their dirt? But you know why sometimes people will stand up for the evil one, or the one that they suspect got some issues, but that's my favorite, is because they're getting something from them. Because somehow, some way, that charming, deceptive manipulator has figured out how to win your trust. Some of us, we fell for the traps time and time again, until I woke up one day and I said, just because mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, or whatever else claims, oh no, good person, decent person, doesn't hold grudges or whatever else, please, I'm not falling for that, because I know what God said about that person. He knows the heart. He knows the heart. The first thing that these manipulators will do is they will, number one, act charming, sweet, kind. We talked about this in other audio with abusers. The next thing they'll do is they'll tell their share of lies, exaggerations. And this is why some individuals, I can't get projects done, because the Lord is allowing some disruption, because unless you bring in the truth, There's not going to be a lie pinned. The next thing these manipulators, deceivers, the appearance of evil do is they're going to get their share of individuals to support them on the lies that they may suspect are lies. Because what's a manipulator without a herd around him or her? People who can sing his or her graces. Manipulators will also show their whole card, if you will, by the requests that they make. And they know who the targets are. Oh, I can get over on you because I know you're the type of individual that it's always forgive and forget and don't hold grudges. Good. Now, some individuals will say, well, how can you use something like that against another person? Oh, it's quite easy. It's quite easy. Because you see, if they present themselves as being all forgiving, all knowing, something like a God figure, they will put their beliefs, their ethics, there we say it, ethics, right? But they'll present themselves like a child of light so that they can get just one more thing from you. So the manipulator looks like a Jesus figure. Oh, I give, I take care of, I do for. I'm not the kind of person that holds grudges. I'm not that type of individual that, wants to just keep things going with people. And I don't talk about people. See, they'll do all of that. And then you, unsuspecting, will go, oh, okay, well, you're my kind of person. But then they'll do a 360, 180 on you when you bring the truth to them, or when you're critical of them, or when you say, oh, really, you don't hold grudges? Well, why are you treating me this way? Oh, really, you're all forgiving? Well, why are you treating your daughter or your son that way? Oh, so you're a generous person. Oh, but you're not generous with everyone. You're just generous with those select individuals who you can benefit from, right? Ooh, they don't like that. You see, but I call it like it is. And when you're the truth teller, the truth speaker, you will be shut down eventually. And then what they're going to do is go to their supportive network, the gullible, the ones who don't spend time thinking, praying, meditating, or whatever else. They're going to win them over by criticizing you, talking about, the other day I talked to her. And she, I don't really know about her. But they're not going to tell you all the details of that conversation. Some folks went to their graves, never telling it all. And some folks is still above ground thinking they know something and they don't know anything. Because especially those that have been in the street for quite some time, those that know a thing or two about the player, the pimp, the hustler, those that have been around their share of greedy individuals who will do just about anything to get what they want. Those that just got the presence of evil. They don't know the tactics. They don't know the game. Matter of fact, that's how they got caught up with, got connected to, because she ran game on him years ago. And some of you all know because you've been running game, or you used to run game. Okay. The gamer knows the gamer. The liar knows the liar. The manipulator knows the manipulator. We were out in the world. That's why we can be able to call out some folks, because God said there's some information that you need to keep, because they think that because you're a believer now that, oh, I got her, I can be able to play her. No, God didn't take all street away. You see, there was a t-shirt that I saw one day and it said something about half hood and half holy. I told my sons, and I've also told other people, I said, when I go into certain communities, I can't be going in there acting like I'm all, green, that, oh, this is my first rodeo, because they're going to eat you up and spit you out. So that's why I thank God that we're not at that place where, oh, I forgot, I don't remember, I'm so far away from the hood and the manipulative mentality. And see, this is where you can be so book smart that you don't know anything any longer about how manipulators play the game. Because during that time when I was in college, this is when the manipulator showed up in my life. And then I got a wake-up call. I got a reminder. Oh my goodness, that's right. You've been in those books for so long. You've been in that nice community for so long. Come on. You've been talking to those other ethnicities for so long that you forgot about how things go in certain areas. You forgot about how some people from certain areas operate. He got me again for my money. Oh my goodness. He got me again, for some individuals, their car. I can't believe it. He back in my bed again. He charmed his way back in your bed. Or the woman who, I need some help. So she plays the damsel in distress game. And she knows that guy, back in the day, they called him squares, called him corny, called him all sorts of names, nerdy. But he's so excited that he got himself a nice looking woman, or he's so excited because he got a woman who he think he can play. And for some of them, the game got turned around. And just when she thought she was playing him, he flipped the script, used a little bit of book smarts and street smarts and played her. Come on. And it's sad that these sorts of things even happen in friendships and relationships. But if you're going to go out there without a covering, in Jesus' mighty name, if you're going to go out there and you're going to think you know everything, oh Lord Jesus, the manipulator targets. Oh, so you think you're a know-it-all. I'll never forget when the individual kept cutting me down because he knew at the time in my life that I was very book smart. And so he felt like if he could just call me names every time when he knew that I knew what he was about, that eventually, I would just shut the you-know-what up and sit my little you-know-what down and, whatever else. And initially I played the game in the way that he wanted and didn't even realize it. You see, a smooth operator. Starts off nice, starts off sweet, starts off kind, starts off patient, very, very attentive, listening to my every whim. And then one day something triggers in that mind, in that disordered mind. And the next thing you know, I'm going to break you down. I got you right where I want you. And the presence of evil lurked up in that man's eyes. And that's when I realized that he had a dark side where he was capable of killing me and everyone else who was in his path. You see. So things start off where you think you can manage a person who has a presence of evil. You think that you can be able to play the manipulator because you're angry because you got played. And then the next thing you know, you find out that this individual wants you off the face of this earth. And now you've got police involved and you got court hearings and you got relatives who want to take somebody out because he got a lot of nerve. You see? Oh, these sorts of things we don't think about at times because we're in a comfortable place, right? In a safe place. But you gotta remember that there is a devil or devils that are lurking in the shadows. And if you're too comfortable in a setting, and if you're not the kind of person, let's say that when you walk, you're not looking right to left, you're not looking behind you, or if you're the type of person that you get out your car and you're so busy looking at your cell phone, but you're not looking around you, the element of danger can be lurking in the shadows. Coming up talking about, oh, you need some help? Oh, I noticed that you got a flat tire. Or, oh, what's going on? I noticed that You're carrying a bunch of bags. Let me help you. And they weasel their way into your life. And before long, you're in the hospital somewhere, or worse, in your grave. But I believe that as more and more issues are happening and they are taking off, a lot of these mandates here, there, and everywhere, people are going to be guarded again. And they're not going to be as friendly as they were during those quarantine times and when there were lockdowns, you see. Because now I got to go out of my community. Now I've got to go to the workplace, or I'm going to a store that I haven't been to in a while, and there's a certain element of danger in that community, right? So now we're guarded again. You see, you never know what's about to go down. The manipulator also has a way of being very nice and respectful and kind when he or she wants something. Even little kids do this sort of thing, right? I want this, I want that. I promise I'll take care of the house, and I'll, do what you ask. And okay. And then as soon as they get that item, they're back to their nasty ways again. Okay. Something, too, that is of value these days, especially with so many individuals experiencing their share of financial loss, as well as losing life, is you got individuals trying to talk folks into signing documents. Individuals that are trying to build alliances with folks, whether they're going through the online dating, or they are going through the workplace, or they're even tapping their relatives for some ends. Okay. And this sort of thing can cost you, and cost you dearly, because you may not have the means to pay, but you got a good name. Or you may have the means to pay, but you don't have a good name. But somebody needs something from someone. And so, why are you suddenly so nice to me? Come on. Why are you coming over here a little more frequently? Why are you giving me certain things? Why are you being, oh so friendly to me now? You see, and you have every right to question these things. Matter of fact, though, with a manipulator, I wouldn't let he or she know what the right hand is doing. I wouldn't come right out asking questions. Instead, I would be saying, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm sorry, I can't do that for you. I know that you're in need, but you're going to have to find some other means of getting your needs met. But what about all the things I did for you? I'm sorry, but this is not the time. I cannot help you. When I got other things that I can be able to make happen, depending on who this person is, right? You may be able to help them at a later time, but there's going to be some prerequisites or conditions, or I'm going to get my lawyer or my banker or somebody involved. You see. So these types of issues that arise with some individuals who have been manipulated, let's stay there for a while, they end up finding themselves having to sue someone. They are very angry and very and just very difficult to be around, because they realize that they have been played by the manipulator, the charming one. They've been led into a web of destruction. And so, unfortunately, there are the sons and daughters and other folks who catch the wrath because they fell for something that they were warned about, or for someone. Okay. Some folks won't even breathe a word that they have been manipulated, because they know what their relatives and friends are going to say. I told you she was no good. I told you he was no good. Some of these manipulative individuals who got away with what they got away with these victims, now the victims are depressed. They have their share of anxiety. They don't trust other people any longer. And how do you get over some of this that you've gone through? It takes time. It takes patience. It takes energy. It takes being around positive people who make you feel safe. It takes having to go to court for some individuals and putting some people in jail for peace of mind. You see, it takes restraining orders. It takes sometimes a physical fight. I mean, I literally had to go blow to blow because I'm like, oh, it's like a gang, right? It's like, in order for me to get out of this mess, I'm going to have to fight. Okay, well then let's throw some blows, because I'm not going to sit up there and just let somebody hit me and choke me out or whatever else, you see. It did take, in another situation, it took me having to go to small claims court because a landlord thought that he was going to be manipulative and saying one thing and then turning around and legally putting something else together. You see, this was years ago. I mean, I was dealing with foolishness at a very young age. And I'm sitting up here like, do I have something on my forehead that says take advantage? Some of the charming individuals, I got into this in one of my other audios about stringing along dates. People who want to string you along, they make false promises. They say, I'm going to leave my wife, or I'm going to, take care of my baby mama and my baby. I'm going to, make wrongs right with this person. But I need you to be supportive. And, I got love for you. And then no, they don't. They want something that you have, you see. And so it's those simple times, right, that draw you in, that catch you like a fly. It's the sitting down across the table and having a meal with someone, you see. The one thing about the quarantining and people, at a distance with one another, that I felt was beneficial was that now you got time to think, because you're not in the presence of that person. You see, now you're able to orchestrate your plans, for your life without the manipulator all in your ear. But then when you're opening up your doors again and the manipulator wants to be a part of your world again, now you're more susceptible, because there's a part of you that doesn't want to turn down a charmer. There's a part of you that wants to keep the peace, and I don't feel like arguing today. There's a part of you that just says, let me just go on and give this child, what he or she's asking for, and leave me to, what alone. This type of thing, right? And when you're doing it and you're not guarded, you're more susceptible of being tricked. When you're not standing your ground, the manipulator is like, this is a good day for me, but it'll be a bad day for you later on. When you don't bring God into the plan, you call yourself a Christian, a believer, and you don't bother to pray, you don't bother to put your spiritual armor on according to Ephesians 6. You're not trusting in the Lord, and you're dealing with worldly people. You know that evil is among some folk, and this is how you're doing these things. It isn't any wonder why the demonic takes advantage. You see, I've watched this sort of thing play out over and over and over again, where one relative said, I'm not going to let him come over here and take my money and jump up in my face and be disrespectful. Well, okay. But then he shows up, and this time he's not jumping up in your face. And this time he's asking kindly. And you gave. But you wasn't supposed to give. Matter of fact, you vowed you wasn't. Whether he jumped up in your face or whether he talked nicely to you, you wasn't going to give. And the excuses was always, but that's my, and filled in some kind of title. Or he did for me, and that was 10 weeks ago. Or 5 years ago. The point is that You said that you weren't going to do something, and why didn't you stick to it? Okay, God gives you another opportunity to stand your ground. And what do some believers do? Oh no, it's okay. It'll be fine. He said he's going to pay me back. And I remember hearing some of these relatives going off. I mean, ready to like take people out of here behind somebody or someone's not coming back with their money. Calling other relatives saying, your son, your daughter was over here, asked me for some money, and now I want him or her to collect or to bring my money, because sometimes folks was running money for any number of reasons. And so now somebody who knows nothing about this is on the phone talking about, I don't know anything about this. Well, I'm letting you know, you better call so-and-so, or you better find them, because you going to have somebody in the grave. What you talking about? You making threats? This is how crazy it got. And it started with the manipulator who went over somebody's house saying that they needed some money, saying that I'm going to pay you back. And now folks is threatening to take people out of here. Crazy, isn't it? Well, that's how the street deals. You could be comfortable in your home, minding your business, and somebody connected to your family decided to get everybody in trouble behind some foolishness. But this is where you take this sort of information and you do what you need to do. You give it over to the one true God. You ask that the Lord will open up your eyes. I remember we said these prayers so often. Lord, open up my eyes and cause me to see who is who. What do they want? What kind of individual is this person? Cause me to handle situations in the way that you would handle them. I put these people's names in your hand, Lord Jesus. I ask that your angels of protection be encamped all around me. I don't want to be the fool. I don't want to be the tail and not the head. I want my enemy to be my footstool. I mean, you're pleading the blood of Jesus. You're asking that God intervene. And God, in the quiet of the day, will give you resources, people who you can call on. That'll say, oh, I've been through something like that. Let me tell you step by step what I did to get my money, or what I did to push this person away, or what I did to make sure that manipulator never showed up. And something that I have to caution some of you on is stop thinking about the titles. This is how some of the relatives got played over and over and over again. They kept thinking about, this is my mother, or this is my father, or my brother, or my sister, or this is my cousin. No, he wouldn't do this to me. Or this is my uncle, or my aunt, or my stepmother, or my stepfather. No, he wouldn't do this. But you'd be surprised at how the devil will touch some folk. Wake them up in the middle of the day or late at night. Oh, I know who to call. Or I know who to go and ask. Or I know what to do to get her to do what I want. Or I'm going to get this man to help me with. Sometimes it's not about money. Of course, it's about service. It's about sex. It's about a business opportunity. How do I get these people to do this and to do that, says someone. But did God say, and are your tactics righteous? Are your tactics honest? As much as some of us, we want to be number one. We want to be at the top of our game. But then you start reading the fine print, or you read the directions or you follow the script and you say, wait a minute, there's some manipulation going on here. Nah, this ain't going to work. You see? And that's God. That's God tugging at your spirit. You trying to say one thing and the Lord says, no, that's not how you talk. But they told me I'm supposed to say, I'm supposed to do. If what they're telling you is going against what God has put in your spirit, it's time to let that go. Because there has been those times where I know in the past where God said, this company is in trouble. You won't be with this company much longer. Or this manager is a liar. You're not going to continue to work under this manager. Or this supervisor has been known to manipulate. And we're not talking about manipulating folks into doing their job. We're talking about the type of manipulation where later on it's going to cause some folks to go to court to act as a witness. You see, evil has that presence about it, and you feel it. And in the spiritual realm, some of you all, you've been feeling some things about certain family members as well as friends and people at the workplace and at the sister group and the brother group for quite some time. Don't dismiss what you feel. Even psychologists and psychiatrists and doctors and lawyers and just so many people in all sorts of professions have even warned, don't talk. Keep your mouth closed about certain things when you're around this person. Don't engage with this one who appears to be so sweet, kind, and loving, because there's a dark side. Busy yourself. Excuse yourself. But whatever you do, don't stay in that person's presence. Some individuals, they walk around with recorders. Other individuals, they reach out just so that they can find some dirt. You see, what appears to be friend can very much be a foe. Anywhere. And this is why for some individuals, they say, I have nothing to say. Oh, but why don't you want to talk to me? I have nothing to say. And you know that some individuals, they have something going on the inside of them, because it starts to show up in their eyes. They're very desperate looking sometimes for information. They're asking questions a mile a minute. They got sweaty palms. They seem a bit agitated. The manipulator will show nervous signs at times. They're not always cool, calm, and collected when they're desperate. They may start off nice and then start cussing, railing on you, because they are not able to get what they want when they want, especially those that feel entitled, spoiled, don't like your kind, don't like the fact that your kind got power. At that particular moment, I could help you or maybe not. You see. So I believe that this is it. I thank the Lord. I thank you, listener. This has been one of those messages just to remind some folks to be aware of the manipulators, to be more in tune to what you feel concerning some people who have an evil presence about them. God doesn't want you to be blindsided. God doesn't want you oppressed. He doesn't want you held in captivity. He doesn't want any of those things for you. Blessings to you.